The pullback we were looking for is underway, and we are approaching the very same support levels that historically helped propel price to the upside. Let's go over those areas of support for a true edge over the coming sessions now. Welcome back to the channel on this Taco Tuesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol AZ. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in to ticker symbol AZ here on the weekly time frame, where we noticed yesterday that we had an ascending channel here and an ABCD strategy underway. I would like for you to focus your attention right up here, and you can see that the bears percentage has declined since yesterday. So we were looking at a 64% bear strength over today at 59. Very good. Okay, so as you can see here, we're now knocking at the door yet again on that EMA 13 on the weekly time frame. So I do expect price action to eventually beat that after a continuation to this downside, right? So we have to wait for this pullback to complete in order for us to rip. Okay, so and what I mean by that is that we do have a couple signals that are suggesting that downside already. Okay, now, I mean, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about this, right? Today is the monthly and bi-monthly closures, and what I'm noticing here is that we have a huge spinning top doji printed here on a monthly time frame, which essentially just tells us that there is indecision in the market, at least in a macro scale, right? So this is just a huge time frame for us to consider, right? So I just found it very curious that we printed that. And I guess I will say, too, that while there was a little bit of an increase in volume here, overall, this was just an enormous decline in volume, while price action declined as well on a monthly time frame. That, sometimes can be considered, bear exhaustion. It could be just, the potential end to that bear thesis. We have to practice heavy discretion with that, though, okay? So it's just a metric that we're looking at, one indicator amongst many, many other indicators, right? But usually, I tend to look at price action and volume the most, right? So it looks okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and continue on to the next chart here and take a look at this. Remember, this is the larger time frame descending broadening wedge on a daily time frame, and you can see price action here clearly making its downturn. And I do believe price action has enough thrust here to get right back down to, I mean, I don't know if it could actually really get all the way down there, but I'm looking at a particular target here at around 142. And that would be in respects to the opening of this candle right over here that has some relation to this candle top opening right down here. I'm sorry, right over here as well, right? So if that's the case, then 142 to 140 becomes our target yet again for a pretty massive bounce. And please remember that the last time we did that was right about here at 141, right? We got that bounce to the upside that we were expecting. Here's another bounce here from 140, right? And then remember, we already had pointed out several iterations where we have faced some pretty parabolic bounces to the upside. Sorry about that. And yeah, so let's move on here as the little guy is actually waiting for me to get outside so we can go trick-or-treating, right? So happy Halloween to all of you, and please be safe and wary out there, right? There's a lot of crazies out there. So here's a very good signal, right? So stochastic momentum is actually starting to pivot here. And you know what? If we can actually finesse the input here, so let's go ahead and do this, right? So the D%, let's go ahead and adjust this to a period of maybe 9 to get an overall read, right? We'll do the smoothing factor at the same factor too, and see what it has. Okay, so overall upside pivot inside of the bullish control zone here. Let's see if we can actually get a tighter read and just put a period of 1 with a smoothing factor of 1 and see what that tells us, right? Okay, so this is actually telling us that we could face that downside in the immediate short term. Now, it looks like we could face a potential bounce from this area here, and that area is very particular because that is the zone known as the gravitational zone, right? So it usually lands within 2% of the junction, right? So if we can get that 2% drop and face this same similar bounce here, then we would be able to get a nice catapult towards that upside, right? Similar to what happened here. So that pivot right down there happened right at about 123, where price action ended up going for the next 2 days all the way up to 180. Very impressive move to the upside. Okay, and we're about to experience that similar bounce there soon, right? So that's why I'm saying that we could face this dip before a rip, and I guess we will see. We shall see. Okay. Now, let me see this here. Okay, yeah. So this is the discretionary support that we had, but I wanted to focus this support with the RSI on the daily time frame, right? So daily time frame RSI, the SMA 14 is right below here, represented by the pink line, and of course, the signal line is still suggesting a downside continuation. I do not believe that the gravitational zone here in the RSI is strong enough to get a bounce to the upside. First of all, sorry. First of all, in the histogram here on stochastic momentum versus money flow, you're actually noticing that we're getting a first bar of red here. So that is outgoing cash, and stochastics are pivoted towards the downside still. So yeah, if we can actually, let me take a look at the standard MACD here. Not really giving us a bias there. So yeah, I think the RSI may actually be indicating a potential drop into this zone down here. And guess where that zone is that we already had plotted? That's right, 142 to 147. So we do have a range for us to consider a potential bounce from, right? So now leading into the RSI, I will have to say that this is an enormous amount of indecision, and I expect it to be as such because tomorrow marks a very important day. Tomorrow is Fed Day, right? So Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be speaking on the rate hike increase, and that will likely affect the markets, right? So I don't know if you noticed today, but the markets were entirely choppy today. Lots of volatility and lots of up and down price action that usually tends to, trap a bunch of people. So what I'm thinking here is that we have this Fed meeting tomorrow, which could be forcing a lot of things into an indecision until they do announce what they're going to do, and then price action will continue from there. But I do expect a lot of chop this week, and we should be very careful in the markets overall. So I can't like really tell you like, you know what, guys, I have high conviction here that we're going to go down to this. It's just based on technicals, based on whatever we're seeing here, right? So, and I also can't speak on macroeconomic data because the release has not happened, and we literally can't pretend to guess what Fed Chair Powell is going to say. So I need you to be aware of what's happening, and I need you to be very careful leading into trading tomorrow, okay, team? But if we do get that opportunity, then you would be looking at another opportunity to get long this asset at 142 to 147 before a potential upside run that has historically worked for this asset, okay, team? Now you know the risks, you know the targets, supports, and resistances, so let's go ahead and just be as careful as we can be moving forward, okay, team? Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, 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 never. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and a safe Halloween. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.